Yo, what is going on, guys? If you're new here, welcome to the Crypto Now channel. Actually, I'm new here too, so welcome me, I guess. Yeah. My name is Johns, and today we've got the latest in crypto updates, so let's get straight into it. The current theme with the latest news today is that countries are just behind on creating regulatory framework surrounding crypto. And that's completely understandable. It's complicated as hell, and I'm sure the back end of it with laws and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes is even more complicated. We must keep in mind that the space is relatively new and even more new to becoming mainstream. Like, people didn't even care about crypto up until like 2 years ago, you know. Some people knew about Bitcoin, but the utility from the space as a whole was just unheard of. People didn't care. Most people still don't care today, but it's booming. It's becoming a mainstream part of life, which honestly, for us to believe in crypto is awesome. We're taking the steps, we're zigzagging in the right direction. First on the list today, El Salvador plans to be a center for blockchain software development and a paradise for the crypto rich. El Salvador set to be the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender as of September the 7th, 2021. Nayib Bukele, I definitely butchered that, of El Salvador wants the struggling Latin American country to become a Bitcoin mining hub, tapping into its market and becoming a center for blockchain software development and a paradise for the crypto rich. Bukele plans to remove capital gains tax as an incentive for people to move to his country and build a state-backed wallet to house Bitcoin. He even went as far as to calling it a leap forward for humanity. Did they really just start making loud noise like that? Now, just a few clicks northwest, the situation looks a little bit different. Financial Minister of Mexico confirms cryptocurrencies are banned in the current financial system. On Monday, the 28th of June, so 2 days ago, it was reiterated that cryptocurrencies are banned from the current financial framework in Mexico. Arturo Herrera, damn, I probably butchered that too. Anyway, he's the financial minister, said that cryptocurrencies aren't legal tender and aren't treated as currencies under the current framework. And just to add a little bit of salt to the wounds, these bans are not expected to lift anytime soon. Now, it doesn't sound good for the crypto sector, sure, but we can definitely expect it, and we've seen it many times before. Concerns over money laundering is one of the big reasons countries crack down on the crypto sector at the moment. And in my humble opinion, they're just creases that will be ironed out over time. We're in like our Wild West period, our teething phase, whatever you want to call it, the early time. Now, just hours before the finance minister actually reiterated the ban, billionaire Ricardo Salinas, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, a Bitcoin bull, claimed he was trying to make his bank, Banco Azteca, the first bank in Mexico to accept Bitcoin. Now, from what we know, the claims from the finance minister about the ban aren't directly related to the billionaire's claims. However, they followed so close, it made a lot of people connect the dots themselves. Next on the list today, Fireblocks. Fireblocks crypto custody company, whoa, that's a tongue twister, loses private keys to over $70 million worth of crypto. How? Now, it sounds bad, but it's actually a lot worse. The private keys were actually deleted by an employee of Fireblocks. The wallet contained 38,178 Ether tokens and belonged to a company called Stakehound. As you probably guessed, Stakehound is pursuing legal action because of what's happened here. This is a human error committed by an employee of the defendants who worked in an unsuitable work environment, did not protect or back up the client's private keys, and for no apparent reason, the keys were deleted, preventing the plaintiff's digital assets from being accessed. Now, the kicker here is that Fireblocks denies being at fault whatsoever, claiming the keys were generated by the client and stored outside the Fireblocks platform, and the customer did not store the private key with a third-party client as per our guidelines. Unfortunately, if those were actually the guidelines, Stakehound might not have a leg to stand on here. However, I'm far from a financial advisor and none of this is financial advice. Now, how anyone has an investment worth over $70 million and hasn't gone to every conceivable length to make sure it's secure and that nothing's going to go wrong is absolutely beyond me. But hey, here we are. Now, moving over to the UK, FCA bans Binance Market Limited from undertaking any regulatory activity in the UK. That's right, more crypto crackdowns happening across the world. The FCA, the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority, has decided that Binance Markets Limited is not permitted to undertake any regulatory activity inside the UK. Now, if you're in the UK, don't stress. From as far as I understand anyway, you're still actually allowed to access and use Binance.com. However, Binance has until the end of trading hours on Wednesday the 30th to remove all advertising and financial promotions it currently has running. Now, it's important to understand here that Binance Market Limited is actually a different legal entity than Binance Group. It's essentially just the UK branch of Binance, but they operate separately. So all good. It's a big deal, but not as big a deal as it seemed at the start, anyway. Now, the actions from the FCA stem from concerns that a number of crypto firms were failing to meet the country's recently issued policies on preventing money laundering. Once again, money laundering back on the table as to why countries are cracking down a bit. So basically, nothing out of the ordinary to what we've seen going on in the crypto space for the last couple of years now, at least. Now, as governments and authorities figure out how to reel in the sector, so to speak, or, regulate and put frameworks around crypto sector as a whole, we can definitely just expect things like this to happen. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Although it is a bump in the road, it's fine. We'll get over it. We'll get there. Now, the way I like to think about these kinds of things is, here's our end destination and we're here. We're probably not going to go in a straight path to here, but as long as we're at least zigzagging in the right direction, then, that's pretty much all we can ask for and what we can expect. All right. Lastly, for today, founders of South Africa-based crypto firm Africrypt disappear, along with $3.6 billion worth of bitcoins. Once again, excuse my pronunciation here. Brothers Amir Kaji and Raiz Kaji, 20 years old and 17 years old, are founders of Africrypt, a crypto firm based in South Africa. Now, in mid-April of this year, investors with Africrypt were sent an email claiming that the platform was shutting down and freezing all accounts due to a hack that had occurred. This hack supposedly compromised accounts, wallets, and nodes of everyone on the network. And then something really strange happened. They were asked not to report anything that had happened to law enforcement, as it would slow down the recovery process. Yes, that's where it gets super weird. Does that even make sense? In a world where we assume it's true, wouldn't reporting it more and more times and more people calling and complaining about it put a sense of urgency or something on the situation? I don't know. Now, shortly after, the brothers allegedly transferred the investors' funds from an account at Johannesburg through FNB, the First National Bank, and then disappeared to the UK. Now, to me, it certainly appears that these brothers have run off with $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. However, we can't be 100% just yet. Though, if they did, it would actually be up there as one of the largest crypto cons in history so far. My question is, can they actually get away with something like that, though? That's $3.6 billion. If they just skip to the UK, are they exempt from what they did in South Africa? I know in some situations that's actually how it works, but when you steal $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin from people, surely you can't just go to a different country and, start fresh. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more crypto updates like this in the future, please hit subscribe, tap the bell while you're there so you get notified. I'm going to try and bring these videos out quite regularly, see what happens. You know, I enjoy being on camera, I enjoy the crypto space, so here we are. Peace.